I've got your extended look for that daily reading coming up here in just a second. For those of you who don't know me, my name is Cody. I'm your conscious soul reader. Welcome to my channel. If you're already a YouTube subscriber, I thank you all so very much for all of your likes, your comments, your views. Everyone who is new, be sure to hit that like button, that subscribe button, notification bell. This will alert you every time I come live and post content. If you go to the link tree in the description box, this will take you to my website where you can book personal private readings with me. Those are on sale for the unforeseeable future, so make sure to book yours as soon as possible. While they're in my website, you'll also notice that I'm booking mentorships. Be sure to check those out as well. If you have any questions, feel free to reach out. All the way at the bottom of that link tree will take you to all the other platforms where I'm posting content and going live, so make sure that you follow me if you recognize any of those so that you don't miss me. And we will get started here in just a second. If you haven't seen that reading, you're going to want to check that out because I'm not going to explain why all these cards are on the table. We're just going to jump into clarification, get some advice, an outcome, and look at Oracle to close out the reading. I've got a lot of us struggling with detachment. There's a state of limbo right now where you are definitely doing that work. There's a shift in your perspective here because of the sacrifice that you've made. But in the run out, we're showing that the blocks are that there is this residual energy of still trying to let go. The action is this current emotional detachment from the loss, what we didn't have happen, feeling like you've been pushed aside. I mean, look at this guy's face. Look at him. Fine, be that way, right? And then this sulking off, licking your wounds, making it all better. We want to make sure that we are doing that healing. We want to look at this for what it is and let go of the romanticizing of what it was not and our egoic attachment to telling everybody what this was. Maybe a lot of us went around and showboated a lot and said how great things are, how happy things are, and now there is this new perspective on something, and we're in this bit of a limbo status while we're releasing and detaching here. Let's get clarification. Let's jump on into the clarification, please. So let's look at what are these blocks. I want to dive deeper into the Hanged Man. What is the main block? What is that heartbreaking loss? Okay, the Moon. This is showing that we have this desire to move on from something, but we can't help but feel a certain kind of way. You hear about all the things to do that are going to help you to move on from this in a graceful way, how to turn it into a transmutation, your pains into your gains. But, you know, a lot of people just struggle with that. A lot of people just have a very, very difficult time releasing that emotional investment and this feeling of being slighted and taking things very, very personal when it's not really that personal. It's meant to be more spiritual than personal. Your ego makes it personal, and this is where we've kind of slipped back into those old ways of coping with the Moon card coming out in the reverse here. What else for the Hanged Man? Those old ways of coping is what is preventing you from being able to move on. We've got the Nine of Wands. I mean, this is where Spirit is trying to lead you into being that spiritual warrior, where you're turning these transmutative moments into an empowering moment, of a level up moment, Three of Wands, where you can look forward to these decisions that you get to make about a new path forward. This is something to look forward to. Look at this, looking at the horizon, at the possibilities, the openness, the vastness of what is to come. This is where you want to be. And then you start to feel a lot more confident in where Spirit is taking you here. Let's not get too far ahead. I'm going to leave the 2 and the 3 out because that's awesome. That is awesome. I'm going to take these in a cluster. They came out in a cluster. You'd know that if you watched the mini. 4 of Pentacles, 5 of Pentacles, 8 of Cups. Super depressing. Super depressing. And, you know, you're human, right? Of course you're going to have those moments. Sociopaths and psychos and narcissists will lack that compassion, the empathy, the emotional attachment to what's being let go of, right? Everybody else, all other humans experience this. they experience this loss. Okay, so tell me about the loss. What is this? What is this painful loss? Oh, Queen of Cups. See, your love offer. You had the most beautiful love in the entire deck, and it was pushed aside. It was refused. It was given up on. It was thrown away, cast aside, not seen for the value of what it was. That is not a personal thing, though. That's spiritual. That's showing you that somebody is not worthy. We have the Knight of Swords, the King of Swords, Ace of Swords, okay? Logic starts to seep in here, that this is a decision that is actually liberating you. This impulsive decision that came out of nowhere was a head over heart decision. This is somebody who is not in their emotional place. You're in your emotional place. This is where Spirit is saying that you need to mirror that impulsivity of that trajectory into a new direction. This is where you're going to snatch your power back, looking at this logically and not emotionally. This was for your greater and higher good. This Ace of Swords indicates a brand new beginning of great success, a triumphant, successful new beginning. We can't have new beginnings unless we have something end. Something must end in order for something to begin. Whenever we're experiencing these level up moments, these monumental shifts in our life, and that's what Major Arcana is indicating. Your block is you handling this probably in the same old way. We've got that emotional confusion stepping in again, and Spirit is telling you your emotions are fine. That's your human birthright, but you need to look at this more logically than emotionally this time around. Seven of Pentacles and the Six of Swords. Tell me. The Fool card was trying to come out. Hello. That's a cute little trick. Six of Swords. I'll just go ahead and double down. We'll just double down on that Six of Swords. Yeah. Time to move from trauma. Okay. Moving on from the trauma. This is a transition. There are better things coming in, and you have to move towards that peacefully. You have to make peace with that. This is for your greater and higher good. Ace of Wands. A new beginning. And here's your blocks. Four of Pentacles, Two of Swords. Okay. Only you are standing in the way of seeing this for the opportunity it is, really. What's this Devil card? Why have you tied yourself to this? What is this Devil? Addictions, materialism, Five of Wands, the drama, possibly the competition, feeling like somebody else is going to get what you didn't get to get. Some of us also get addicted to the dopamine of the drama, right? Some of us trauma bond with some of these experiences. You may have gone through a lot of traumatic experience with this person, and that's what it's difficult to let go of. We don't realize this, that, those experiences, dopamine hits, the serotonin rushes that we get, those are addictive. We get into these states where we start to become this high-functioning trauma victim. And then when you're detaching from that and you're moving into a more peaceful place, there is this leftover shock of trying to release where you just came from. You're releasing the toxic environment. You're releasing that feeling of feeling intensity when this person comes home, or you're walking on eggshells, or you're trying to appease and please, right? So this is, some of us get addicted to that, and that's another part of the detachment phase. We've got the Two of Pentacles. I'll take that. I didn't want to take Emperor, Seven of Wands. Okay. Yeah, so there's this restructuring, getting yourself back in balance, and letting those emotions that surround you kind of calm down while you're reconfiguring how things are going to go, how things are getting resettled for yourself. Tell me about the Page of Cups and the Ten of Cups. Nine of Pentacles. This is reestablishing you in your values and your worth here with that Nine of Pentacles. The Nine of Pentacles is telling you and reminding you of who you are. Okay? This is asking you to remember who you are. You'll get there. You'll get back to this place. This is a reintroduction to true joy and fulfillment by working on yourself, by focusing back on what you love to do and what you feel is best for you. We've got the Empress also out here accompanying the pre-Empress, pushing you to heal, to focus on self, to work on self-love, to return back to where you would be most beneficial from that love that you're trying to give. Give it back to yourself. Stop trying to give it to people who don't appreciate it, who don't know what to do with it, who are not ready to receive what you have to offer. Stop doing that. Start providing it back to where you know it's going to be valued, appreciated, nurtured, and turned into the greatness that you're quite aware of your abilities to have happen here. We've got the Moon, the Eight of Pentacles. Tell me about these. Again, with the Moon out here, right? This is the illusions. Those are those illusions that you're starting to get control over here. Two of Swords falling out sideways, starting to gain control over these illusions, starting to release yourself from these illusions. You got the Tower card, the Eight of Swords. You're keeping yourself tied here by focusing on what has happened, the catastrophe, the disaster, the loss, the experience. Right? You're kind of tying yourself to this. Once the dust settles, I have a sneaking suspicion you'll get down to work, you'll get reorganized and start to refocus. Get yourself back on track. Tell me about this Eight of Pentacles. Hello. Get yourself back on track. You better work. Look at you. Rainbows, butterflies, and unicorns, fart and sprinkles. That's what I say all the time. It's coming. It's coming. You got ambition. You were right on track before you got, interrupted by this lesson. And once you detach from it, don't do things the same old kind of way. This is about looking at the big picture, focusing on the bigger picture here with that King of Wands. Your relationship with your higher self is the most important thing that matters right now. We've got a lot of strength coming in from you doing that work to release your egoic attachment from these decisions, finally cutting ties and releasing yourself from that mental prison with this clarity and this truth and this understanding of what is meant for your future higher self. These bold decisions for where you're headed in life, what it's looking like in your future. This is about being loyal to self, being loyal to your mission, being loyal to building and growing self. Seven of Wands, self. Loyal to self. Let's clean this up and get some advice. All right, kids, let's look at some advice. All right, let's get some advice. My goodness. So I have, this is so funny. We have the inner and outer work that you're doing to make sense of this, to really come to terms with this on an intellectual level, not an emotional level. Your emotions are needing to be processed and released. That's all this is. The Five of Cups, the Seven of Cups. We've got the Four of Pentacles, the Five of Pentacles bookending this. There's a lot of repetitious cards back here. Again, here's 3 5s right here. 5, 5, 5. Going through the changes of detachment. And once you get tired of keeping yourself chained to this, feeling this attachment, this outcome, this experience, this idea, right? Once you get tired of chaining yourself here, you will let go. That's that final push. That's that final push that's going to help you to be able to focus on what you're bringing in and regain your confidence and your feeling of this sense of knowing once again what you're doing, why you experienced what you experienced, and where you're headed in life. There is a redirection, but you're working through it. It's not this instantaneous thing, okay? Again, only sociopaths, psychopaths, and narcissists are capable of just chunking something off and not feeling anything about it, and just never experiencing the loss, not feeling any type of mental anguish over this, with this inability to just kind of walk away. You still hold on to the memories. You're still holding on to this feeling of confusion and almost this disbelief of what you've just gone through. Like, what was that? Was that even real, and why? Right? There's this change, but once you go through that, I'm telling you, there's a lot better on the other side. Almost to the point of you feeling like, why was I even worried about that? I feel like once you move through this, you're going to look back on this. You will be really almost kicking yourself about what you were worried about, what you were attached to, and why you didn't move through that a little bit sooner. But don't focus on the regret. The idea of you finally being able to move through this, regaining your emotional strength to help to put you exactly where spirit wants you. I feel like your emotional integrity is going to come back here in full force. I feel like there's a lot of things coming back into balance for you moving forward. Once you get through this, there's a lot better for you on the horizon. Let's get the outcome. That'll lead us directly into the outcome here perfectly. That outcome. After you do this work, after you move through these emotional shifts, after you do this emotional processing, what's on the other side for my collective? Boy. What's on the other side? Disappointment, there's still this emotional feeling of you looking at this, but there is a liberation coming in. We've got the Knight of Wands. I feel like there's this new sense of freedom that comes from this. There's the Six of Wands again. And this deepening of your trust with your higher self, I think, is another reward and gift that you have coming for you. Two of Wands, Two of Cups, King of Pentacles. You have stability coming in. Your archangels are taking you through this experience to connect you to your higher self in a more trustworthy way, to where you're able to get these messages and downloads a lot sooner. It won't take you as long to take this time out to figure things out, to detach and let go. It won't take you nearly as long in the future. You'll see these decisions a lot easier, more grounded, more secure, making better decisions moving forward because of that work you've done on yourself. Looks good. Spiritual warriors. Nine of Wands, spiritual warriors coming through. Let's look at your future higher self. We're going to look at also blank space. You will get what you wish for, but is it truly what you want? This again is having you really be careful about where you're focusing on your intentions and what you're trying to bring into your life. Really consider whether or not it is for your higher self, your higher purpose. If you're trying to force something to work, it may not be for you. Spirit will give you what you're after, but it may just be a lesson if you're trying to force something that is not easily flowing to you. You have so much to offer the world. Don't ever doubt your contribution. A lot of you may have felt a little confused, dismayed by this, but this is because you have so much work to do. You have so much more to offer. So Spirit is redirecting you. You will find your place in the world even when you don't know how. They're redirecting you. Wheel will turn in your favor. Keep going. Okay. A lot of times we're just focusing on our bad luck of that karmic wheel. Sometimes it comes disguised as bad luck, your good luck. You don't know it yet because there's a path you're meant to be on. You're supposed to trust it. You're supposed to release surrender, not try to be in control of anything happening around you. You're only in control of what's happening inside of you, not outside of you. The only thing we have to have control over is our reaction to what's happening around us. Don't forget to fulfill your needs while helping others. So you may have overgiven, you may have depleted yourself a little bit. Spirit is saying this okay. It's okay to pull back. It's okay to stop giving away. It's okay to redirect this back to self. A detour is available to you right now that can be a benefit. Don't be so rigid on your path that you're overlooking detours and these quick shortcuts that could get you somewhere, maybe a little bit faster, maybe a little bit easier route. Realize that you have all the qualities to be a leader. Our lack mentality and our self-doubt pretty much is the only thing preventing that from happening. You're going to make mistakes. It's okay. Sometimes you learn by messing up. Those are your best teachers. Those mistakes that we make, the experience of doing it the wrong way so that we can go back in there and know how to do it the right way next time around. Don't lose yourself trying to hold on to someone. A lot of times we will give a lot of our power away. We will lose days and weeks focusing on things that are not even returning anything back to us. So take control back over where you're focusing, where you're pouring your ideas, your energy. You have intuitive ideas that you really need to act on. Okay, your intuitive ideas for self. What are you feeling drawn and called to do? It's time to act on those. Spirit is removing those distractions so that you can get yourself back on track, because your life is at a turning point right now. You're ready for this. Your resistance, your egoic attachment to what you are losing out on is the only thing blocking you. It's the only thing blocking you is yourself. Let's go ahead and look at the blank slate and see if there's any additional help to close your reading. Any additional help we can offer. So can I tell the correct thing? Watch some comedy to raise your vibration, raise your frequency, get you out of that funk. Take a break from everything. Just pull back, detach yourself mentally, emotionally from your surroundings. A lot of times our surroundings will keep recreating these emotional feelings in us. So sometimes it's best for you to just pull back a little bit. If you can't pull away from your environment, just take breaks wherever you can. Take these escape moments, these breaks of focusing on the negative. Find a new hobby or revisit an old one. If you put something down that you've been missing and you haven't had time to do it, maybe time to pick it back up, to divert some of that attention and focus into something you love, something that brings you joy. Consider getting additional schooling or training. That is a great way to distract yourself and raise your frequency, raise your vibration. A great way to focus on you. Learn from your mistakes. Yeah, sometimes you learn by messing up. And when you don't get the lesson, it's doomed to repeat. So you got to forgive yourself too. Don't blame yourself. Forgive yourself. Let go of this. You did everything you needed to do. You did your due diligence. You did everything you were energetically allowed, called, or able to do. So forgive yourself. Don't blame yourself. Cry if you need to. This will help you to release, detach, pull yourself out of that funk. This will help you to kind of purge those feelings that get stuck in our hearts and in our chests. That's where the crying will help to clear that out and allow yourself to feel your feelings. Many times we will block this, or like me, I will have to schedule a cry. I don't have time to sit there and cry and then redo my makeup sometimes, or depuff my eyes so I can get on camera and not look like I've been crying. You know that feeling. A lot of times we're so busy putting ourselves out there in the world that we don't want to look like we're suffering. But you need to get that out of you. I'm telling you, it'll do a world of good if you can just get that feeling off of you. It does feel better to get it out. It's so cathartic. Collective, we're going to go ahead and end it here. Thank y'all so much for tuning in, playing along. If you need to book a personal, everything's going to be in the link tree in the description box of this video, taking you to my website, also booking mentorships there. You'll also notice that I'm on sale for a little while. Be sure to book your reading today while that discount's going on. If you go all the way to the bottom of that link tree, it'll show you all the other platforms where I go live and post content. If you recognize any of those, go ahead and give me a follow. Make sure that you don't miss anything. You will know. Until next time, I'm wishing you all the health, wealth, and abundance you can stand. I will see you.